Morning everyone, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we're going to be talking about just crypto in general. We'll just be chatting just the normal and having a look at a few coins, and in particular we're going to be looking at Tron, Babb, Pundi X, Bitcoin, see what the price of Bitcoin is doing. But first of all, I've not got my lights on today actually, so it's not as kind of bright in here. But we're going to look at something. What we're going to look at? We're going to look at the chat, see who's in the room just now. As ever, I'm just going to welcome everybody in. Rob Taylor's in. Good morning to you, Rob. Good to see you here. Dominic's in as well. Good morning to you. Craig Knight, King Baviro, Christopher Dalsin, Simone Hendricks, Chardan. Morning all. Hit the likes. If you like this video, hit the likes and remember to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I go live every weekday morning about 8:30 GMT. So hit those likes and you'll get a notification from me once I go live as well. And you can join a Telegram group, link down below, and a Facebook group as well, link down below. We're building up a brilliant community in there, talking intelligent conversation about crypto. It's not all the kind of FUD and stuff like that you see in a lot of the Telegram groups. We've got intelligent people in there and they're investing intelligently as well. So join us down below, but hit the likes, subscribe button and the notification bell. We have Eddie Holland, Stephen King is in, Rob UK, welcome to you, doing a brilliant job in the Telegram group. He's one of our admins, he's doing excellent. JC Stander, Scottish Bull's in the house from sunny Glasgow. And there's a phrase you don't hear often, sunny Glasgow, but it's sunny today, which is brilliant. Marcus Jafari is in the house, Relts is in the house. Honest Crypto Journey, good morning to you, hope Edinburgh's nice and sunny as well. In Crypto 74, Ty Donnelly is in, MT Carmel, Alex Jug, Mark Kelty, Crypto Dread, Wild Bill Nazio is in, Stu Johnson, Tom Barry, Gethin Davis, Terrell Hooker, Musa Moose, George Charles, Tony Pettit. Excellent, good to see you in here, Tony. Studio 10's back with us, Mike Cryptical, Cooper, Boss B, a new person to the channel, I think. I don't think I've seen you here before, Boss B. Cole Phillips is back with us, good morning to you, Cole. Reginald Bowler, Matthew Parks, Ad Fitness is in the house as well. So welcome to everybody. I'll get back to the comments later on. Have I got on the right one? Yeah, I have. Okay, first of all, I want to kind of talk about, I got a message this morning. It wasn't a strange message, but it was just a message. And so I'm going to kind of talk about this for a wee bit as well, just giving you different trading strategies and different kind of entry and exit strategies. Okay. So I got a message this morning saying you recommended ZRX, but it's gone down. Why did you recommend it? And I'm going, what the fuck? Yeah, it was just like, I couldn't believe it. Because I always say, put your big girl pants on, put your big boy pants on, do your own research. When I recommend coins, it's coins that I bought into. And I told you last week, I was open and honest, I bought into ZRX, made a few $1,000s, got out of ZRX and got into Tron. Because I believe Tron is going to go up in the short term, still believe that. So I got out of ZRX altogether. But make no mistake, I'm going to get back into ZRX, but that's not the point here. He was kind of blaming me for ZRX going back down, because I recommended in a private group, first of all, to get into ZRX about 17,500 for the long term. So this ZRX, a long term coin, and I believe it's going to get up to $7, at least $7 by the end of this year. And I still think that, and I'm going to get back into ZRX. But there's a point that this person's saying, because I don't know, I must have said it kind of on one of the kind of talks I did last week on the lives. I was talking about ZRX and I was into it. And he said, why did you not tell me like the exit strategy? Why did you not tell me to get out when it went up to 21,000 or something? And I'm thinking, he's not even in the private group. The person's not in the private group. I don't even think they're in the Facebook group either. Just kind of wrote to me. And I thought, why would you even do that? So I just said, it's not up to me for your decision when to get in and when to get out. If you're in the private area, I kind of tell you exactly in the crypto course, the kind of entry points and the exit points as well. So here's different strategies I'm going to kind of suggest. This guy I had to laugh at though. He's not even invested in the program and he's asking me kind of advice and blaming me for his decisions as well. So what I would do, and I'm going to use Pundi X as a prime example here. Pundi X, we were talking about Pundi X a few weeks ago when it was sitting at around about, I think it was about 3,000. 3,000. So talking and I was saying I got into it and I was trading it between other coins, between that, Babb and Kin. I was kind of trading between them and just making a few dollars. So I started with $500. It's now up to $2,200 or something, just with that $500 about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Because I've not got a lot of money to trade with. I've not got because I'm invested in all the other coins. So I started out with a kind of small amount, $500, and it's traded up now to about 2,200, which is good. So with Pundi X, for example, if you go on at 3,000, here's what I would do. If you are just trading Pundi X, then kind of let it ride, let it go, and let it keep running, but take the profits. You always have to take the profits. So my suggestion is usually, if you believe in a coin long term and you think, okay, I'm going to hold this for a year, you still want to take out the profits. And what I usually do, and what I've been doing, is if it goes up 200%, then I'll go in and take out my original investment and let the rest run. So if you believe in it long term, take out your original investment. If it goes up, for me it's 200%. So Pundi X, it's gone up 200%, take out the original investment and let the rest run. So whatever happens, you're never ever going to lose out because you've taken out your original investment. So remember and do that. Don't just let it all run. Take your investments when you can, or take your original investment out when you can. So if you put $1,000 when Pundi X was sitting at 3,000, it goes up to 9,000. Take out the original $1,000 worth and let the rest run, and you'd have still been in good profit just now. So that's for coins that you're thinking about for the long term, and just let it keep running. If it doesn't go 200x, you could take out your original investment when at 100x, not 100x, when at 100% gain. So you could have done that with Kin yesterday, for example. I'm not doing it with Kin. I'm waiting. I'm going to be open and honest here. I'm waiting until Kin gets to about 600 before I go in and take out my original investment. So it's now sitting about 300 or something just now, but it was up to 380 yesterday. So that's what I'm going to do with Kin. I'll wait till it goes up 200%, or it's a wee bit more than that. Then I'll take out my original investment and let the rest run, because it's free money after that, if you think about it. So, but that's if you're long term. If you've got the view that it's going to be long term and you're going to stay in for this for the long term. Same with Babb as well. Babb was sitting at 400 before, now sitting at 2,000. So I've been accumulating since 400. I've taken out my original investment, and the rest of the money is just it's not free money. It's just money that I didn't have, but I wouldn't have had before had I not invested at the lower amount. So I've taken out the original investment, put it into other coins, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that with Kin, done it with Babb, done it with Pundi X as well, although I didn't stay in Pundi X as long as I should have. But that's cool. I don't mind. I still made a big profit on it. So that's my suggestion for long termers. If you're short term trading, then trade how I've showed you in the crypto course, using the 7MA and the 25MA. So you get your entry point using that, and you get your exit point using that as well. That's if you're trading kind of short term. So that's my suggestion for doing that, and I thought I would share that with you because of this kind of person that wrote it. I couldn't believe it. I found it funny actually. So when he wrote to me, I thought, oh, I'm just going to talk about this on the kind of live show today. So that was that. So if you've got any questions on that, let me know in the comments. Okay, we're going to go to a few comments here. Ty Donnelly, there he is. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ty. Scottish Bull, I'm waiting for that Bitcoin to hit 1 million. Oh, that'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? MT Carmel, good morning. Oh, looks like things are speeding up. Yes, it does. We're going to look at the markets in a wee second. Bitcoin to 7 million. Scottish Bull, that would be amazing. Scottish Bull, Elastos joining 7 major exchanges within the next month or so. Currently just on Huobi. We checked out Elastos as well. I'm going to check out that later on again. Good morning, good morning. Mac Pawn, I'm not happy about IQ Option Broker. Done some withdrawals and then send you 20% one day, the day after 35%, now nothing. I've never heard of IQ Option. It doesn't sound too good, to be honest, Mac Pawn. And now they say I have to find out with my bank. We'll send you some numbers, but nothing happened. Strange. Gethin Davis, LOL. Rachel Kent, smash up the likes, guys and girls. Thank you very much, Rachel. Rachel's been brilliant in the group as well, just kind of joining in the group in the chat as well. It's brilliant. It's a really good group if you want to join a Facebook group and the Telegram group as well. UK Crypto, good morning to you. Mark Pawn, so question with broker to use for cryptos. Right, which broker? Do you mean the exchange that we're talking about here, Mark Pawn? Mark Kelty, easy to blame others, must be a gambler. Yeah, definitely. I just found it really funny. I didn't even get angry or anything. I just found it really funny. What do you think about Pundi X? Joseph Gonzalez. Pundi X, still a good coin. My only concern with Pundi X, and I've been in and out of Pundi X, made money with them as well, really good. My only concern with that is the market capitalization about 800 million just now, sitting probably in the top 40. It's gone down a wee bit. It was at 1.5 cents, now at 1.2 or 3 cents just now. In fact, we'll just go and check it. Pundi X 1.22 cents just now, so it came down from about 1.5, 1.6, and I kind of said in the Telegram group, just be careful if you're buying into Pundi X at these prices, because it's at an all-time high. If you held the coin since 1,000 or something, which is a 12x, then definitely take out your kind of original investment and let the rest run, or take profits, take maybe 50% profits and then just let the rest run. It's up to yourself how you play it. I usually take out my original investment if I think it's going to be a long-term play. But my only concern with Pundi X just now is its 800 million market capitalization. It's risen extremely fast. Think it's a brilliant coin. Think what they're doing. They've got the point of sale machines. They demonstrated it yesterday at Consensus. Didn't think it was a brilliant video, to be honest. The guy was only on for about 5 minutes or something, demonstrating that, 5-10 minutes. Didn't do too well because the machine wasn't working as quickly as it should have, but I see huge potential in it. But I would definitely take out my original investment in that if you're in it just now. So it just concerns me the sharp increase in price. So it's risen, I think it's about 2,000% or something over, we're talking 5-6 week period. So of course it's going to come back down. So I wouldn't be going in at this kind of price. It's pulled back a wee bit. It's pulled back about 20%, 20-30%. But it's at an all-time or near an all-time high. So I'd be wary of going in. If you're brand new to Pundi X, I'd be wary of going in at this price. But you can start trading it if you're in it already, or if you've been in it and you're out of it, you can start kind of trading it. It's becoming a tradable coin now as well. Let's go into other comments. And there's always people not willing to take responsibility, and that's the thing, Matthew, as well. You're quite right, Matthew Parks. You have to take responsibility for your own trades. If you go into a coin, if somebody recommends it, you cannot blame that person who recommended it, unless they're totally shilling and they're just doing it for their own gains. And I'm definitely not. I'm just telling you what I'm getting into and what I'm not getting into. You can make up your own decisions from there, but you have to take responsibility. And once you've made a trade, then kind of walk away and don't look at every single minute. If you're in it for the long term, don't look at it every single minute. Just keep an update on the news that's coming out with it. If you're just short-term trading, obviously you have to kind of keep on checking it and just watch the charts as well. But you have to take responsibility for your own trades. You can't go around blaming everybody else. On West, good day to you, Scotch Bill. I'm blaming you, Stephen, for making me burn my toast this morning. I'll take full responsibility for that, Scotch Bill. Mark Kelty, I'm blaming him for me listening to him while my tea brewed too. Yeah, that's not good when you kind of burn your tea. Not burn your tea, just keep the tea bag in too long. Studio 10, why did you tell me about Babb? I've trebled my money. Why did I listen to you? Nightmare. I do apologise if I told you about Babb and you've trebled your money. I do apologise for that. Mark Kelty, ha ha ha. Dave Stewart, good day Steve, picked up a little kin after a live chat yesterday during the dip we've just had. Excellent. I think kin for me is a long-term hold, but I definitely will go in and take out my original investment when it gets up to around 600 or so. MTC, good morning to you. Jacob Hopkins, Mark Pawn, I like Brave. Brave is the Yeah, the browser. I'm talking about the browser, Brave. Anthony, good morning from East Midlands. Good morning to you, Anthony. Good to have you here. Good morning. Any good news from Consensus? I didn't get to see a lot of Consensus. I usually finish work, because I work about 14 hours a day. Usually finish work about 6, 7 o'clock. Usually about 7 o'clock. Still too long. So I didn't get to see a lot of Consensus, to be honest, but I did see Pundi X on Consensus. Any thoughts on Dan? Danilo, I think that's a definite long-term play for Dan. I still think it's a good coin. Well, I still think it's a long-term play. So definitely I would kind of still be looking at that. Nick Smith, VeChain should have a really good week, talking at Consensus. I think VeChain is going to do really well. Where is VeChain just now? I think it's it's up 12% today at $5. We're still looking at $9.45. VeChain has got a long way to go, I think, for long term. It's sitting at 2.6 billion just now, but I think it's got a long way to go long term. On West, if you had to hold long term Babb or Kin, what would you choose? I personally hold both, but read some negative press about people worrying about the huge supply of Kin. I think it's like 10 trillion. It is 10 trillion, but look at the market capitalization. Don't look at the number of coins there, look at the market capitalization and look at what they're going to be doing with the 10 trillion. So they're going to be onboarding companies when they get their own blockchain. So that's what the part of the 10 trillion is going to be used for. Obviously it's going to go into the circulating supply, which is 756 billion just now. But for long term, look at the market capitalization, look at what they're thinking about doing. Ken, if you've seen Ted Livingston's talk as well, he's talking today at Consensus about 3:10 p.m. Which is about 10 past 8 over here in the UK. So he'll be talking there, not specifically about Kin, he'll be talking about before crypto and after crypto. But he's a good talker. He's really passionate about kind of crypto in general, passionate about his company as well. HEXX and Kin is the kind of token for that as well. So if I was to hold long term Babb or Kin, if I could, I would hold both. But if I was to get into either one of them, I would take Babb every time, because Babb is only $40 million market capitalization, and Kin at the moment is about, I think it's gone up because of yesterday's probably sitting at about 250 million. Yeah, 226 million. So look at the market capitalization. Babb is 5-6 times less than Kin, but Kin are looking to do big things. So if I could, I'd hold both. If I was going to just go into either one of them, I'd go into Babb just now for the longer term potential. I hope that helps. Just looking at, we'll get to some of the coins in a wee second and look at the market overall. Kevin Hunt, Kev from Maidstone here. Key options is a scam. I lost money with them. I've never heard of key options. Note, McAfee said Bitcoin private is a new Moreno. What do you think about it? I looked at Bitcoin private because I seen John McAfee's tweet about it, about Bitcoin private, and I looked at it, but I've not taken a position out on it. BTCP, where are we just now? 500 million market cap, sitting at rank 48, 24.50, up 1.42%. Highest price is about $80. See, from a trading point of view, so what I do from a trading point of view is I look at the all-time high, look at the all-time low, and see what the risk to reward ratio is just based on that alone. There's other ways to do it, and there's other better ways to do it, but just as a very quick one, if you look at the all-time highs and the all-time lows, Bitcoin private would be a good coin to get into just now, because it potentially 3 times where it's sitting at just now, potentially. What was it? 86, potentially 3.5 times from where it is just now, just to get to its all-time high, and its all-time low is near its all-time low, actually 1473. So it's not that far off its all-time low. So I think it would be a good coin to invest in. Look at the circulating supply again, similar to Bitcoin, obviously. 20.4 million and 21 million max supply. So yeah, I think it's got legs. Has Bitcoin private, but I did see that John McAfee talking about that. And John McAfee, I actually like John McAfee's a disruptor. Is he off his head? No, he's a very smart guy. He's just very outspoken, very narcissistic. That's fine, as long as he's kind of talking about crypto and he's getting it out to the wider population as well, and that's what he's doing. He's been entertaining, is what he's doing as well, by being very outspoken, saying he's going to eat his kind of dick on TV if it doesn't get to $1 million. But there you go. I do like John McAfee, and I think he's very entertaining, very smart guy. He didn't get to where he is just now without being a smart guy, and I do like him, I must admit. Okay, we're going to go to the markets just now. We'll have a wee look and then we'll get back to the comments. So overall market capitalization is $408 billion. Bitcoin dominance sitting round about the same, 36.5%, which is cool. Who are the winners? Obviously Bitcoin is up 3.91%. Zcash is up. That's had a huge run up. Cybermiles going up again. That kind of always is doing really well, Cybermiles, over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Matrix AI, I haven't looked into that big time yet, but that's gone up 18%. Enigma, a lot of people speaking about Enigma as well. Salt, they're going to be speaking at Consensus as well. Huobi token, they're just going from strength to strength, Huobi token. Fusion, Ogre kind of came onto Binance as well. Cortex, Eternity, Elf, VeChain, Power Ledger, Redcoin, all going up as well in the double digits. Who's the kind of biggest losers? Kin, believe it or not. Kin had a 100% run up though, so it's going to have a little bit of a pullback. Sitting at 302 just now, and we'll take a look at Banker Network. Dentacoin, minus 6.36, not that much to be honest. 0x down 3.22%, that was totally my fault that it went down. Not. Arc, Maker, Archain, all down, but there's not a lot of them down. Most of them are in the green just now. And I think, hopefully, this is the start of the rise that everybody's kind of expecting. I didn't really expect it during Consensus, to be honest, but I expected it maybe towards the end of this week. And hopefully this is the start of something, a run-up for altcoins and Bitcoin as well. If Bitcoin rises too fast, obviously the altcoins are going to come down a wee bit and the Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. But we'll wait and see what that happens with that. But it's not rising too fast, which is good, which gives the altcoins a chance as well. But if we can get over that $9,000 again, that'd be fantastic. And we'll just take a look at Coinigy just now. And we'll look at USDT. So Bitcoin, kind of steady on the daily chart. It doesn't look brilliant, to be honest. If I was just going into Bitcoin, I probably wouldn't get in just now on the daily chart. A 6 hourly chart, I like to look at the daily, 6 hourly and 1 hourly. 6 hourly chart is coming back up to meet the 25 MA, or the 7 MA coming back up to meet the 25 MA. On the hourly chart, I wouldn't really trade Bitcoin on the hourly chart, but it's looking good on the hourly chart. Ethereum's looking better, to be honest. Ethereum's looking good. 672 on the hourly chart, it would have crossed over it with a slight dip, and now it's 735. So I think Ethereum is looking good for the short to long term. Well, definitely for the long term, but the short term, definitely. And you can see in the daily chart, I've been talking about this for kind of ages, and I kind of teach this in the group as well. And the program I've got at CYT-Crypto.com. We can see here it would have been a good play from $446, and it would still be in play just now on the daily chart. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you're in the private group as well. So that would have been a really good play. Litecoin, it dipped slightly, but it's coming back up over the last 3 days to $146. Long term, I don't think there's any issues with Litecoin at all. But it has been as high as 185, came down to 129. Neo, again, slight dip on the kind of daily, but it's coming back up again. And that's currently at $68, still a steal. In my opinion, it's definitely a steal at this price. And for me, it'd definitely be a case of accumulating. If I had the money, I'd be accumulating or getting into it again. I took out Neo to get into Tron, took that out to get into other things, to get into Babb. But I'm into Tron again now as well. So where is Tron? TRX. So you can see here in the daily chart what it looks like in the daily chart. Excellent in the daily chart, but the 7 MA has crossed down over the 25 MA on the daily chart, which is not a good sign. However, we know that there's kind of fundamental news coming out. So from a technical point of view, it wouldn't be good to kind of, if you're just getting into Tron, it doesn't look as if it's a good time to just get into Tron just now. From a technical point of view, on the daily chart, on the 6 hourly chart, I think it'll be a wee bit different. Yeah, 6 hourly chart, it would be telling you it might just be the time to kind of get into Tron, but you might want to kind of wait and see. It might dip a wee bit from here, but as I said, we know the fundamental news that's coming out soon, and that's the news of the kind of mainnet launch, and hopefully an announcement as well from Justin Sun. And we'll just see on the hourly. Yeah, on the hourly it doesn't look good. So on the hourly, if you go on at 773, that'd have been good. You'd have been getting out at 840, and it might just be crossing back over again. So looking at the hourly chart, if you're trading this, short-term trading, you can use the hourly chart, obviously. You could even use the 15-minute chart if it's really kind of fast-paced and fast-moving. But it's not fast-paced just now, Tron, but I would imagine it's going to start to trade a lot more very soon as well. So on the hourly chart, it's not quite there yet, but it might be a good time to get in based on the hourly chart if you're short-term trading. I'll go back to a few comments. Pundi and Kin too pumped at the moment. Let them retrace first, in my opinion. Nick Smith. Yeah, I think so. Pundi, if you're looking for a good position to get into Pundi, I'd be kind of waiting on that as well, just to see kind of what it does, see how much it does retrace. Kin has gone up 100%, so it's going to retrace a wee bit, but for the long term, I am not worried about it at all. Oh, right, Martin, Sonia, Steve, and the site I was talking about, it was CoinLib. Right, okay. I'll just have a wee look at that, because I tried to look at that yesterday and I didn't know what it was. CoinLib.io. Ah, right, okay. I'm going to say Pundi X is... oh, Pundi, I keep doing that. It's got, because a lot of people still don't know the circulating supply of Pundi X. Oh, current max supply. So it's still not got, I believe it's on, is it CoinGecko? I don't know if it's on CoinGecko, it's on one of them. CoinCodex, I think it was on. CoinCodex. So we'll just see Pundi X. Right, we'll just see what that is sitting at here. It was telling you, yeah, market capitalization of 731 million. Supply is 61.84 billion, so it's not got the circulating supply on here, but all you do to calculate the circulating supply is 732 million, so we'll just do that just now just to show you. So what is the price sitting at just now? The price is 0.01. In fact, we'll just go to Bangkok and see the price. 0.012 for that. Okay, we're just going to look, and did I find it? So 734 million. So 734,123,123 divided by 0.012. This will give us a circulating supply. That's correct. Million. 61, 166, 61 billion. Is that correct? That's the total supply of 61 billion, but it's saying that's the supply. So I don't know if they're basing the market cap on the total supply there. So we need to check that. I thought that gave us the correct information. I think it still does actually, maybe I'm calculating it wrong, but I don't want to spend too long on it. But that's how you calculate it, dividing the kind of market capitalization by the actual price just now. That's how you calculate the circulating supply. Yes, place to buy cryptos. I'm French. I know I'm not English, not so good. Right, MacPawn. I didn't know you were French. Not that it makes any difference. Atif, what use of Pundi X coin? Does it really need a coin? For the point of sale, you're going to have, I believe, I don't actually know if the company that buy the actual point of sale machines will need to get Pundi X coin. And if I'm being honest, I don't know the answer to that. So I don't know the use of the Pundi X coin, if it's a utility token or how that works. Being really honest. No point in trying to faff or bullshit you. Scottish Bull, what's best exchange to cash out in coins to fiat? I use Coinbase. When I'm cashing out, I go to Coinbase, or you can use Kraken, or there's a couple of other ones that you can use as well. It's not a brilliant experience, but I use Coinbase just now. So if you've got coins on exchange, you exchange them to Bitcoin or Ethereum, send then the Ethereum over to Coinbase, and then transfer that to fiat, and it goes into your bank account. But if you're doing that, so say for example you cash out on an exchange and you've got 10 Ethereum. When you send it over to Coinbase, don't directly sell it on Coinbase, because they'll give you a kind of pretty shitty price. What to do is use GDAX. GDAX is Coinbase's own GDAX. So go onto GDAX, get the best price on GDAX and sell your Ethereum there, and then sell it to fiat on the Coinbase exchange, if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense to you, because GDAX is the best place to get the best price for it. Don't just trust the Coinbase price that you get for it. Stu Johnson, why cash in? HODL, be strong-handed. You have to be sensible as well. It's better taking kind of profits when you can as well, but I wouldn't kind of sell out of all of it if it's going to be a long-term hold. Reginald Bower, what is the announcement of the new kin fork from Stellar mean for investors? Nothing at all, Reginald. So what Reginald is talking about there about Stellar, kin are going to be using the Stellar code to build their own blockchain. So it's not going to be used on the Stellar blockchain. They're going to fork it basically. So they're forking the Stellar using that code and building their own blockchain. That's what kin are doing. Now it's going to run in parallel with it. So we don't have to transfer the ERC20 tokens, which is kin just now. You don't have to transfer it over. They're going to run in parallel with each other. So they'll have their own kind of blockchain kin as well. But you'll also be able to trade with the ERC20 token, so it's going to be kind of interchangeable as well. But you can transfer it over to the new blockchain if you want to. I hope that makes sense, Reginald. Sorry to tell you about SKCH Skychain when it was 0.001. I'm sure you played your cards right though, much love. So where is that just now? SKCH. I knew that I was looking at that the other day, SKCH. That was Skychain, wasn't it? Is it not on yet? So I don't know what exchange it's on. One wee second. Skychain. No, I can't remember. I knew somebody had told me about that because I've seen that the other day as well. So what's it saying at just now, Ty? Morning all from Holland at Verhagen. Ant-Man, any good cheap coins you're looking at the moment? I've seen, right, okay, so we'll look at some coins just now. So Kin is going back up, it's to 315 backs, still a cheap coin. Just backs is just one for accumulating just now. I've been looking at a couple of banker coins. I'm not going to invest in any, but I've just been looking at a couple of them just now. DTRC is one of them, and I first noticed it because it went up 100%, but it's gone back down. It's up 53%. But I looked into DTRC, and it actually looks not bad, and it's kind of similar to what Babb are doing as well. However, I'm just going to show you here. DTRC, see if they've got it here. They have. So you can see it's just kind of shot up just now. It's not got the market capitalization yet, but the market capitalization I worked out at about under $1 million. And when I looked at the coin itself, I thought, actually, this might be a good coin to invest in. And I wasn't going to announce it in a kind of private group because I hadn't made up my mind, but I'm just looking at it just now. Deuterius. And we'll just look at it. So as I said, it's similar to Babb, to what they're looking to do. So it's the first social P2P crypto bank. They've not got a license or anything. They've raised 1.6 million, but I believe they burned a lot of tokens as well. So it's similar to Babb, what they want to do, and it wants to be a kind of a social peer-to-peer kind of crypto bank. So the kind of ITO, they called it, the ITO is finished. I was looking at that this morning, and what caught my eye was, and I kind of joined a group in that as well on Telegram, and the Telegram group has got about, I think it's about 8,000 or something. Ah, yeah, there it is. No, I didn't join the group, I just kind of looked at it. So yeah, I was looking for the circulating supply. 192 million, that was it. So if we can look at that just now and have a look on Bancor and see, okay, Deuterius is at 0.31. And we times that by 192 million. 123, 123. Well, it's 606,000. So if the circulating supply is 192 million, that is the price of it just now, 0.3 of a cent at the moment. And it's only got a market capitalization of 606,000. So I didn't know whether to call this in a private group, but I'm just going to share it here with you. If you want to look at it, do your own research, obviously, put your big girl pants on, big boy pants on. So that actually looks like not a bad coin. And I've not looked at it, I only spent about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes on it, but it actually looks quite good for possibly, I don't know, short term, long term. There's a lot of them kind of unhappy people in the Telegram group because the price has gone down. I think from its ICO or ITO, it was a lot higher. I'm sure in the group they're talking about 90% down or something. I'll just check that in case I was in another group. So there's a few people kind of talking true, but believe it or not, 90% of them will dump. Ah, right, and that's something else. Anyway, we're not kind of dwell on that, but I'm sure this could be a good short-term one. If you're kind of looking to get into a coin that could possibly 10x. If it 10x's from here, then you've got a coin that is only going to be 6 million market capitalization. And as I said, it looks similar to what they're doing to Babb. But Babb are way kind of advanced in the process and what they're doing. It looks like a kind of slicker operation, Babb, much slicker. But Deuterius Credit look as if they could be doing something good. So I'll just officially call it here for the private group and kind of for everybody else as well. I think this could be a good short-term bet for you. Bet, gambling, just looking at it, I think it could be a short-term play, a good short-term play. And it could be a 10x very soon as well. So that's one of the coins I was looking at. Will Babb price drop when they release another 30 billion in January? I don't see why the Babb price, why they're releasing 30 billion. So I don't know, they're releasing 30 billion in January for that Daza booth. Let me know kind of what that's about. Scottish Pool, Elastos, please, Elastos, right, sorry, we're going to check that. There's a lot of people talking about Elastos. 259 million market cap. The reason why it's so high at $50 is because it's 5 million circulating supply and only 33 million total supply. So what's this all-time high? 63? Or was it? No, it was $82 if we're going in dollars. But if we look at the BTC, what's it sitting at just now? 576,000, and it has been as high as 879,000. Yeah, that's right, 879,000. So still could double from here. As I said, I don't know too much about kind of Elastos. I've not spent any length of time kind of looking at Elastos, but I know a lot of people kind of want to look at that as well. So just take a quick look. Smart web powered by the blockchain. Safe and reliable internet of the future, build utilizing blockchain. This technological breakthrough provides the first completely safe environment on the web where decentralized applications are detached from the internet while also permitting full scalability to millions of users. So a lot of people talk about Elastos and they love Elastos. There's a lot of kind of people really into it. We'll just look at the kind of chat just now. See 16,000 members, so it's got a big community behind it, and they've got an avid community as well. People that are kind of big ambassadors for it. So that always bodes well for me in kind of social media. If you're looking at social media and you're looking at the community is really important when you're looking at a coin. Even a small one, we just seen there was about 8,000 in DTRC credit. So even a small one, community is still really important. It's going to be a community that drives and talks about your kind of coin and the team and that as well. And that's what happened with Babb as well. It's got a really good community as well. So Elastos is there just now, 259, and it has been as high as the market capitalization. It didn't really tell you there. Yeah, so the market cap has been up at 326 recently, but it was higher than that previously back in February. So it's still got legs on it, definitely. But as I say, I don't know too much about it, Scottish Bull. ADA, honestly, a fantastic buy right now. I totally agree with you. ADA is looking really good just now for the long term. Even though it's 7 billion market capitalization, I still think it's a really good long term coin, and we're talking it's going to be like probably 50 billion this time next year. The market capitalization has been as high as 33 billion. So if we just look at that, if we look at the all time high, the market capitalization of 33 billion, that's around about 5 times the price where it is just now. So if we just look at that alone and look at the all-time low was kind of sitting at something like 2 cents or something like that. But I still think this has got a lot of legs, Cardano. And if I had a lot more money, it had been invested kind of before now as well. So it's a good time for Cardano, definitely. I think they're going to do big things. Ken's going back up a wee bit. We're at Pundi X 12.2 still. DTRC. I think you're going to see a big rise in DTRC very soon. Okay, we're going to take a wee look at Tron. So what Tron doing just now? So I've got them up on the board just now. They're sitting at 818 Satoshi just now. As I said, Tron, we looked at kind of on the big chart just now. It doesn't look good on the charts. And I've been saying that all along. It doesn't look good. If you were looking at that, you didn't know anything about Tron, and purely we just go on the charts, you would say, no, I'm not getting in just now. It's not a good time. Even on the hourly chart, it doesn't look brilliant, although 7MA is coming up to meet the 25MA. It's not quite there yet. We've got a couple of red candles there. If we look at the 6-hour chart, you'd go, okay, maybe might be a good time to get in on the 6-hour chart because 7MA has just crossed over the 25MA, but we've got a couple of red candles in between there as well. And on the daily chart, 7MA is crossing down over the 25MA. So chart wise, you just go, no, I'm not getting into Tron just now. But fundamentally, they've got news coming out. They've got the mainnet launch coming out. And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. And I still see this going up to 1500 Satoshi, at least 1500 Satoshi. Could be totally wrong. It's kind of the feeling I've got. As I said, if you're looking at the charts, you would not be getting in, or you'd be looking for a position to get in. You'd be looking for a stronger position to get in on the hourly or the 6 hourly. So we'd want to see this kind of 6 hourly line kind of going up a wee bit higher before maybe it goes up again, before maybe you kind of invest in it. But for me, I'm invested at 853 Satoshi. Wrong timing, probably about 12 hours wrong timing. Could have got in at 721 or something and got even more Tron, but I didn't. Just take responsibility, just walk away and just kind of look at it, because I know it's going to go up in price, or I feel I know it's going to go up in price. So I don't think there's any kind of issues with Tron at all. For the long term, I think it's going to be an amazing, and it's going to surprise everybody. And for the long term, we're going to get a really good price on Tron as well. Are we talking 10x and probably 10x and within the next 18 months at least? I see Tron doing. I do. A lot of people don't like Tron. I do. I just like what they're doing. Although Justin Sun, a lot of bluster on Twitter and things like that, I still think what they're doing, they're building a team, they're getting everything in place for this decentralized web that they're talking about, plus even more, getting dApps on their block. They're just doing so many things just now, and looking at it on paper, you think, oh, they're doing too much, but they're managing it. They're managing everything that they're doing, and I just like Tron for the long term and for the short term as well. But on paper, looking at the charts alone, you would just say, now is not a good time to get into Tron. If you're not into Tron just now, you don't know the coin. I know it. I wouldn't say I know it intimately, but I've traded it for the last few months, made a lot of money on it. And when you get to know a coin like that, and it's all its little nuances and kind of the ups and downs of it as well, and the trading patterns as well, then I can confidently say I think this is kind of going to go up. But if you're just new into it and you're just looking at it, looking at the charts, look at the 1 hour chart. When the 7 MA crosses over the 25 MA, that might be a good time to get in. That'll be a good indicator to get in. But at the moment, it's not brilliant to look at the charts at the moment. But I'm in just now, and I'm happy to be in. Happy to kind of stay in, even if it goes down. It went down the other day to 730, but I still stayed in. So that's Tron. Yes, I still think it's going to double. What about HEXX? Turns any coin into private coin or transactions. Never heard of HEXX before. What time are we on? 9:23. We'll just take a quick look at HEXX. Is that on just now? Oh, that's GEXX. We don't want GEXX. We want HEXX. So 24 million market cap, 1.6 million. Oh, I like that. Circulating supply. No, oh, we like that. $14.98. It's kind of shot up in price, so it's near its all-time high just now. I'm always weary of going into coins at its all-time high, so I'm presuming that's just kind of shot up over the last, yeah, it has, over the last 7 days or so. But only a 24 million market cap. Circulating supply is really low, and the max supply is really low as well. And just take a wee look. HEXX coin is private, anonymous, CPU mineable as well, ASIC resistant, GPU resistant, decentralized, right. Faster block time. Okay, I'll just take away. What's the roadmap like? Cloud mining. So is this about mining? Is this a big thing? Mobile wallet, GUI update, new exchange listings, CryptoBridge and BlockNet, core update, Q3, proof of stake hybrid implement starts, fork with Bitcoin to produce Bitcoin 0x. So another fork of Bitcoin. Improved budget system, dev, right, okay. Code team developer. So this is all kind of developers on this. Core infrastructure architect, lead graphic, lead marketing, social media lead. It looks interesting. Right, Telegram, what's the Telegram group? 153 members, that's the unofficial group. Huh. It's on CryptoBridge, Cryptopia and BlockNet. What was the fork date? Q3. So it's run really by the developers just now. I'm not too keen on kind of coins that are just run by developers. They've not got a team, so this is a developer coin, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not too keen on it. Yeah, it looks interesting. It does look interesting. How do you feel about with getting back to fiat in the UK and the taxation? Any recommended withdrawal routes or the best approach to paying tax? Aaron? Okay, so it depends on how much you're going to take out. The best thing to do for tax in the UK, this is, we're allowed capital gains tax of, I think it's around 11,500. That's not the exact figure, but it's around about that figure, £11,500. So if you're taking anything under 11,500, you don't need to worry about capital gains tax because you're allowed that tax free. Anything over that, then you have to pay the 10% tax on it. Depends if you're a 40% taxpayer, you're going to have to pay higher than that. If you're a standard rate taxpayer, it's going to be 10%. So if it's much more than that, if you've got a partner, your wife or your husband, for example, gift them some Bitcoin and use their capital gains allowance as well to maximise your tax. So if you're taking out, say, £40,000 or something, you're allowed £11,500. That means you've got £28,500 you'd have to pay tax on. At 10% as a standard rate taxpayer, you'd have to pay £2,800 on that. But if you gift some of it over to your wife or your husband, your partner, it means you've got £23,000 tax free, and then you've got to pay tax on the £17,000 at 10%. That would be £1,700, so you can pay a lot less tax on that as well. Is that correct? Are my figures correct? So did I say £30,000? Yeah, I said £30,000, so you'd only pay tax on the £7,000, which is £700 instead of £2,800 or something. So that's the best way to, and it's perfectly legal. There's no illegalities about that at all. So you can do that. That's within the UK. So you can do that, gift it to your partner. That's the best way to pay less tax on it in a legal way. So if you're a higher rate taxpayer, you're going to pay higher rates at 20%, I believe, for capital gains tax. So you have to look at that. You better get an accountant to really look at it. However, the only problem is a lot of accountants still don't know about Bitcoin tax. And even the government, the HMRC, haven't definitively came out and said this is what you're going to get taxed, because you've got traders tax, which will be taxed higher rates, and you've got capital gains tax, which you'll probably pay capital gains tax on. But if they deem you to be a trader, then it's going to be higher rate taxes that you pay. So it just depends on your situation, and the HMRC have said they're going to come out and look at it and kind of say to everybody they're going to do it on an individual basis. Me personally, I'd love it if the HMRC came out and said this going into crypto is gambling, because you wouldn't pay any tax on gambling at all. A lot of people said they were going to go to the HMRC and claim that they were gambling, because a lot of people are, to be honest, they're kind of treating it as gambling. If that came out and it was 0% tax, that would be fantastic, but I don't think that's ever likely to happen. So it'll be capital gains tax about 10% if you're a standard rate payer, and it's going to be higher if you're a 40% taxpayer. But gift it to your wife as well. That's one way to get around it. So I hope that helps, Aaron. Okay, we're nearly finished up. I'm just going to go through a couple of comments. Can't wait to hear back from Bahrain on backs. Backs have been quiet just now. The Babb team have been quiet just now, but I'm sure they'll be coming out with updates soon. But rest assured, they're working in the background. The coin is stable just now, around about 2,100. It's doing really well. 2,100. It's still stable. Still trading volume is really good, 430,000. Still think that's really good as well. So I'm not worried about Babb at all. I just trust that they're working in the background on the banking licenses, the exchanges as well, and on the app. They're working on the app as well. So yeah, I just trust that they're doing that. Any thoughts on how do ICO? I've seen Keith Waring talking about how do ICO. I checked it briefly, but I've no kind of real thoughts on it. Dent is very long term. Yep, good one. Waiting for 10x. 10x is going to be good. I've held that for freaking ages. And I put a lot of money into it, a lot of money for me at the time into it back in August. So I've just held that. I've just held it. And that's when my strategy back then, when I first got into crypto, was just buy and hold. buy and hold for the next couple of years. It still might be part of a good strategy, but I think it's better being proactive in trading. I think what I'm doing just now is better. DTRC 0.001. For DTRC, that's its all-time high. So what's it sitting at just now? 0.003. So it's 3 times from where it is just now. I thought it was higher than that, to be honest. FRV have been great for trading, but be careful, it's a fast mover. I've seen that on FRV on Bancor as well. That's it's done well. I think we briefly looked at that a couple of weeks ago as well, very briefly. Sometimes wee trades can give nice wee returns, definitely. And that's why I think it's good for trading on Bancor. If you kind of start low, like with $500, anything under $2,000 is good for trading on Bancor. Anything over that is just shite, to be honest, because you pay the premiums. Eugene Cunningham was in TRX at 0.027, but took profit at 0.065. Put into Babb, still at TRX, not sure it will go back into it. I think TRX are going to do well in the short term. And I might get kind of back out of it. I probably will get back out of it into ZRX or a couple of other ones. With CYT-Crypto about ELA. I don't understand what that means. Sorry, Martin. Dean, Babb will issue 50 billion tokens, 30 billion of which 60% will be available for public sale over 2 phases. First was 40% in 2018, second 20% in 2009 once the platform is live. Right, sorry, I'm with you. Okay, I get what you mean. So they're going to do like a second ICO. We don't know for sure what's going to happen there. So you're talking about the second ICO. Ant-Man, are you investing in the top coins at the moment for the long term? No. I'm actively trading to get more Bitcoin. That's really the kind of long-term goal. But I've got one Bitcoin just now. I always just keep a Bitcoin. It's off the exchanges and everything. I just keep that to the side. Always had that and just kept it just to be part of the ecosystem as a whole and keep that one Bitcoin. So I've got one Bitcoin just now, but we're always looking to trade into Bitcoin to build up that Bitcoin portfolio. Any thoughts on Dragon Chain? Like Dragon Chain a lot. I was looking at it again the other day. I was looking at it on Bancor as well. I think it's up to 250 million just now for Dragon Chain. What was it? 206 million it is just now. So I like that, and I seen it was up at 1 billion at one point, and I thought this could be a good 5x or just to get to its all-time high. So I do like Dragon Chain a lot. Yes, definitely. Babb to the moon? Yes, definitely. Any thoughts on IOST? Not at the moment. I think it's a good trading coin. I don't know too much about it. I think it's a good trading coin though. Cryptodon 1, what's up? I'll just go through it. Mohammed, Babb will be huge in 2 years' time. I totally believe that. Why do people be so cynical about certain coins, or people like Roger Bear, etc.? It's just their opinion. It's just their opinion. You've got millions of others who don't share the same opinion, so it doesn't really matter. It's a tribe effect, Ant-Man. Yeah. Mohammed, can't wait for the banking license. It's coming soon. It's coming very soon, I feel. I thought Babb had released 20 billion tokens phase 1. Where did the other 30 billion come into play for the 50 billion total supply? Well, they're going to keep some for the team, obviously, and for doing what they're doing and building the app, making the app and onboarding people as well. So we don't know what they're going to do there. Eugene Cunningham, 2.k subs now. Stephen, happy days, smash them likes. Yeah, really happy about the community we're building here, and the community in the Telegram group as well, and the Facebook group, and the community in the private group as well, the people who have bought the CYT-Crypto.com course. So really happy with the way things are going just now. And this is about building a community. It's not about me being a star of YouTube or anything. It's about building a community of people who are really into crypto investing. They're not those kind of time wasters and the people that blame other people for some things going down. They're constantly moaning, and they never say, when Moon, when Lambo. They never say anything shite like that. That's why we've got such a good group. So I love it in the Telegram group and the Facebook group as well. And the private group, obviously, as well. Appreciate your answers. Cheers, mate. That's my pleasure, Aaron. Any thoughts on Facebook coin? If they ever brought that coin, I think it could do really well, but I don't think they will. I think they'll just buy over another coin, to be honest. Rob Fiddler, regarding capital gains tax, I heard that you could gift cryptos to your children, also to increase your CGT allowance too. Not sure whether that's correct, but worth looking into. You could, I would imagine you'd be able to gift it to your children as well. But they wouldn't be able to sell out, I don't think. So that'd be the only thing, you wouldn't be able to get the money back. So you could gift it to your children, yeah. What's your thoughts on Bitcoin? Bitcoin, I don't like Bitcoin as a coin or as a team or anything like that, but I do think it's going to be a brilliant coin for trading over the next couple of months. Just purely for trading, nothing else, not to invest in, purely for trading. Mervyn Skidmore, good morning to you. Marcus Chifala, cheers Steve. Jamal, what's your thoughts on Bitcoin? Just seen that. Jamal, hi, first time here from Melbourne, Australia. Gino, welcome to the channel. We're just finishing up just now. But hit the like, subscribe as well, and hit the notification bell. Frank Beckers, any thoughts on Apollo? Still haven't looked really into Apollo. A lot of people who mentioned it, Andy Price mentioned it loads of times. I think is it finishing up? I think it's finishing up as ICO. Eugene Cunningham, I'd say more and more people are starting to follow you more, Stephen, as it's easy to work at you. A gentleman, very honest to us all. Cheers, mate. So glad I found your channel. Oh, thanks, Eugene. I really appreciate that, buddy. Nexacoin, haven't looked into big time. Thabit, good morning from Cape Town as well. Good morning to you, Thabit, and good to have you here. Okay, we're finishing up just now. Remember, join the Facebook group, join the Telegram group, and join me in the private group as well if you buy the CYT-Crypto.com course. I need to update the sales page because I've not got everything on there. It looks as if it's just purely for beginners, but it's not. It's for traders as well. I've got a trading strategy that I've used to grow my portfolio up to about 1200% over the last 10 months or so. So I'll update the sales page at some point, but you can still get into the program and you get the private Telegram group as well, private Facebook group, plus you get calls from me as well. The main group doesn't get, so I'll check out that as well. But for now, have a brilliant day whatever you're doing. Hopefully it's nice and sunny where you are, and we will start seeing what happens with crypto. I think it's going to go up from here, but we need to wait and see. But until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.